Hi and welcome everyone to this review of the Metabox Alpha WA50SJ. So with this review, if you want to jump ahead at any time, if you just, especially if you're watching this on YouTube, just click on the show more description area below, and that'll open up and just show the timecode points of all the sections that I plan to go through, which pretty much is going to start off next with the what's in the box. Also go through the exterior finish, a bit of the size and weight also, do a screen analysis, the angles and the backlight, some ports, all the ports on the outside, the keyboard and point device, do a sound analysis, just do a test there. Also show some benchmarking scores, we'll do some gaming and also show the frames per second, etc. Go through the system BIOS, internal components, and a bit of a conclusion at the end. So what comes in the box? Obviously we have, voila, our 15.6 inch WA50SJ. Also get the power adapter. It's about the size of a hand. It's quite small, quite thin as well. So it's also is the adapter power cord here. Also get two discs, two drivers discs. Also, it's a quick start manual here. Just goes through some of the function keys for what the function keys do at the top, and just some other safety information in there. Also, with the CTG model, config to go model, it comes standard with Windows 8.1 or 7. You can decide. It's also preloaded. You'll get the little serial sticker will be sitting underneath, and also lastly, there's your warranty card. Now it just says 1 year here on the, it's just a standard card here, but a lot of the time Metabox have like a 2-year warranty, so they still ship the 1 year Platinum Cares card in with the laptop, but they have on record that you've bought your laptop within a certain time frame when the 2-year warranty was available. So so yeah, don't panic about that with it just saying 1 on the card here. You'll definitely get 2. So let's just have a look at the specs. As you can see, it's a 15.6 inch screen. It's full HD, 1920 by 1080, and also the screen is an ultra sharp, super slim, full high def IPS matte display, which is quite nice. It's got a 4th gen Intel, the i7-4710MQ. It's a quad core, 6 megabit L3 cache. It's a 2.5 gigahertz up to a maximum of 3.5 gigahertz. The graphics card is an Nvidia GeForce GTX 850M with 2 gig of DDR3 VRAM. Also has diamond compound applied to the processor and the graphics. The base model only has 8 gig of RAM, but with this configured to go model, it actually comes with 16 gig of RAM. There's just 2 slots, 2 RAM slots in this laptop, but yeah, so for this actual model, both are filled up. There's 2 8 gig slots in this one, but there's just 1 in the base model, and the base model comes with just one stick. So if you want to put in some more RAM yourself, you can do so, and you can expand it from 8 to 16 yourself. Also, this one comes with a 256 gigabyte Plextor M5 Pro Extreme SSD. Now, just one thing to remember with this model, there's only one 2.5 inch hard drive bay in here, so you can only put one of your traditional drives or SSDs in here. It also does come with an eSATA slot as well. So overall you can put 2 actual hard drives in here. But one thing to note about the 2.5 inch hard drive bay is that it can only accept a 7mm thick hard drive or SSD. So that kind of limits what type of actual drive you can put in here. But luckily, obviously for this model, the 256 Plextor Pro is only a 7mm thick drive and easily fits in. And also there's a Blu-ray Reader in here, in the side, up from the standard DVD burner. The Blu-ray Reader, well, obviously doesn't burn Blu-rays, but it also will play DVDs and burn your DVDs. The Wi-Fi is your standard Wi-Fi with Bluetooth. Also has a full-size isolated keyboard with Numeric Key Pad on the right. It's got its own keypad, not just across the top. Sound Blaster Cinema, webcam, 2 megapixel high-def webcam at the top. A load of ports in there, which I'll go through later on in the review, a card reader, and also I'll go through the size and weight and etc. later. It also, at the moment, there's a promotion for a 2-year warranty. In fact, actually, sorry, the CTG models all come with 2-year warranty, and it's the Platinum Care warranty, which means there's Australia-wide on-site pickup and return warranty. So basically, if you've got a problem with the laptop, you can contact Metabox, and if they can't fix it over the phone or via email and chatting to you over the phone, etc., talk you through some changes, and they need to get the laptop sent back to them, they'll actually pay for the overnight shipping via DHL back to them, back to base. They'll then fix your laptop, and then they'll pay to, send it back to you via DHL. So in most cases, the laptop's, out of your hands for maybe just a week, and you got it back, and it's good as new again. So let's start on the exterior of the WA50SJ. Size-wise, the laptop is 37 centimeters across the base here, and it's 25 centimeters deep. The height at the back is 3.1 centimeters and narrows kind of down to 1.4 centimeters at the front with the feet underneath. And so the actual nose without the feet is actually only 1 centimeter thick. The top lid and palm rest is made of aluminium with an IMR in-mold roller over the chassis. The IMR is a patterned top film layer that is injected into the chassis mold, which provides a long and lasting resistant finish. At first, when I saw the pics of the WA50SJ, I thought the exterior surface was bumpy because of the pattern. It looked like the pattern surface was raised up a bit, but it's completely smooth. It feels really nice to touch. So both the top lid and palm rest area and all around the keyboard are made of the same material. I really like the dropped edging around the keyboard. It's smooth, as well as nicely curves the chassis down to meet the keyboard. Fingerprints don't seem to come up on the surface either, so you won't be constantly wiping the surface down. The area around the screen is also made of hard plastic, hard black plastic. The Metabox logo here is printed on, along here. It's not raised or anything like that, but yeah, it's just printed onto the plastic shell. Weight-wise, and I've left the battery in, and this model has just the 2.5 inch 7mm thick SSD installed. As you can see, it weighs just under 2.5 kilos, or in pounds, in the old school. If you're watching this from the United States, it's about 5 pounds and 6 ounces. So now we'll just do a screen test. I've just put onto the tile page at the moment, just to keep it simple. And we'll float on here. So if I just kind of start scrolling around to the side, it starts to get a bit darker, but I must say it looks a lot darker on the actual, through the camera on the screen here. But if I place my head just above the camera, I can definitely see little to no wash all the way up until, pretty much side on. But you can actually also at the same time just see the tiles here on the screen. Obviously it's at brightest at front on. Just come around the side here with, it's a beautiful IPS panel. It's really nice. But yeah, little to no wash at all. So really, really good viewing angles. Just go around to the other side. And again, this test probably would be a bit better if I did this at night time. I do have a little bit of light coming in through the windows behind the camera, so you can just see that reflection there in the top right corner. That's from a window. But it definitely does look a lot darker on camera compared to actual line of sight in the office here. So yeah, it's really, really nice. Now if I just move the lid a bit forward, again, that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Hardly any wash. Normally on laptops you find that there's a lot more wash going forward and back. Side to side is not as bad, but definitely they're limited more. There's a lot more wash when you're going, when I push the screen forward and back. But this one, it's wow. Actually, this is really impressive, and that's now as far back as, yeah, I don't want to try and bend that back any further. I don't want to snap that, but yeah, that seems to be the furthest it goes back. It's probably, I'd say, a 45-degree angle going back. But yeah, again, that's really, really nice. Yeah, that's just light coming through the windows there, the change of colour. I'll just see at what point it goes to black. There you go. Actually, while I'm on this screen, I'll also do a test on this one, just to show you. Yeah, hardly any wash at all. On the other side. Back again, I'll just do the forward and back. Not as far as I did last time. But yeah, pretty much all the way to closing it will stay on. And all the way back again. Jeez, it's amazing. When I push it back, that's really, really good. Okay, so just looking at the ports, on the front here it's actually quite clean and clear, but there are actually 4 lights, indicator lights here on the left hand side here. So some of them change colour just to let you know what sort of mode the laptop's in. So the first one on the left is the computer mode, then we have the battery indicator, the third one is the hard disk or optical in use light, and then the last one finally is the airplane mode is on indicator. And just trapped underneath these, you can find hidden, it's actually the 9-in-1 card reader. Now there's just a blank little fake card in there just to hold something in the slot, but it's just hidden away in under there, so let's put that back. So now let's just look at the left hand side of the laptop. At the back here we've got the power socket, then we have a vent here, further along we've got the VGA port, then the Ethernet port, then we have a combined eSATA USB 3.0 port. I do believe that's also a self-powered USB port. I'll look into that for you and let you know. So if the computer is not, if it isn't turned on, you can actually still charge your phone off that port as long as there's charge on the battery on the laptop. And then finally, second on the end is your HDMI port. It's a 1.4A output port. And finally, now we've got another USB 3.0 port. Okay, now just looking at the right hand side of the laptop, we've got 2 3.5mm headphone jacks here, or just line-in jacks. And the first one is actually your mic in jack. The second one is a headphone SP DIF out combo jack. Then we have a USB 2.0, and then our third USB 3.0 port. Then we have over here optical, which in this case is the Blu-ray player slash DVD player burner combo. And then finally at the end is our security lock. Okay, so now we're looking at the base of the laptop, and what we have here is at the back, we've got the battery. Over the side here is the optical, the Blu-ray player, DVD burner in this spot here. We've got 2 speakers, just here and here. Also just a couple of vents, 1, 2, 3, 4, another vent there. You can also see down here, this is where the 9-in-1 card reader slot is hidden. And of course we've got the component cover here as well. Okay, so now let's have a look at the keyboard and the touchpad. First off, it's a full-size keyboard. It definitely has the numbers on the right, so it's pretty standard, I guess, on a 15 or 17-inch laptop. Sometimes on your 13-inch laptops it just cuts off to about here, just because of space. Now, another thing you'll notice is there's actually not a backlit keyboard. There's no backlighting on this keyboard. It's a shame, but I guess if you are at night time, then you should be able to get a bit of light off the screen to show you where you're typing. But to be honest, I would prefer a backlit keyboard. And so with the keyboard, just on flex, it's quite a solid keyboard, I find. Obviously, it's an island style keyboard here, the chiclet keys, but I'm pushing quite solidly, firmly on these keys now, and doesn't seem to be that much flex. If I just go in the middle there, you can't really, just hardly flex it at all. And then, you know, I'm obviously not using as much force here, and you can hardly see if I'm pushing here, the keys around it hardly move. So yeah, but now if I'm pushing really hard, that's pushing hard, it doesn't move or hardly moves at all. Now with the trackpad, I've got to say it's really, really nice to use. The whole trackpad in itself is a button or 2 buttons. You obviously got the left side and click on the right. I do find when I rub my finger across it, It's really, really quite smooth. It looks like it's made of the same material as the outside, but when I run my finger along the palm rest area, my fingers, it kind of does get a little bit of drag, frictional drag on here, but once I move it into here, it's like, gee, it's a lot smoother in the trackpad, so it's really, really nice to use. And so like I said, I've got a left button and the right button, just hear that now. And if I push it up the top, for instance, it won't click. It will about from there down. Yeah. Okay, so that's left clicking, and that's now right clicking. So yeah, just from about there over. Yeah, so it's about from halfway. But yeah, overall, like I said, it's really nice and easy to glide your finger across here, and it's really, really nice on the touch, I've got to say. It's really easy to use and really nice to use. Okay, just want to do an audio test for you now. Just got a piece of production music here. It's a bit rocky, so obviously it won't suit all tastes, but at least it'll give you an idea of the two speakers in the front here and how they sound. So here goes. I'll just put the lapel mic, which is here, I'll put that in close as well. Oh, and this is about 50% sound level. Okay, just a bit further on. So I forgot to actually mention this in the introduction, but I just wanted to also show you how long it takes for the laptop to turn on. So it's just running off battery at the moment. Let's turn it off. So 3, 2, 1. There you go. Okay, I thought I'd also do a timing test on just restarting as well for the laptop. So I'll just start it now, restarting, 3, 2, 1, go. And there you go. Go to your login screen. Okay, so I've just done a 3D Mark Vantage test, and it's actually the latest scores, the one up here in the top left. I've also done 2 previous ones, and I've actually screen grabbed those scores. And ironically, the last one was actually halfway in between these 2 scores here. So the latest score was 15,876, and then the 2 previous ones were 15,969 and 15,786. So the latest one was kind of like halfway in between the 2. And also just looking at our temperatures, just after running this 3D Mark Vantage test, we've got the CPU here at 43 degrees and motherboard's at 44 degrees, and the graphics card is now at 40 degrees also. So here's the result for our 3D Mark Firestrike benchmark test. We've got a score of 2,917 with our Nvidia GeForce GTX 850M. And I'll just scroll down. Gives you basically a percentage. Here, actually, before I go there, we'll just look up here. The graphics score 3,252, physics score 8,967, with a combined score of 1,048. Okay, so it's just asking how does this first strike score compare. At the moment, it's better than 24% of all results at 2,917. And I'll just keep scrolling down, just gives me some of the system specs as well. Okay, so we've just done a 3D Mark Ice Storm test, and we've got a score of 98,783. And I just wanted to also show you up here, just open up another box showing the system temperatures at the moment. And so as you can see, let's get closer to the screen here. The CPU is sitting at 44, it got up to about say 48, 49 degrees. And the motherboard also is at the moment sitting around about 45 degrees. So it was sitting at roughly, well I see it's just jumped up to 50 now. It's been off for maybe about a minute now. But sitting at 46, so it's roughly between 46 and 50. And the graphics card's down at 41% here as well. 41 degrees, sorry, not 41%, 41 degrees. iStorm scores, yeah, so 98,783. The graphics score was 165,233, and the physics score 41,031. Okay, here's the results from our Geekbench 3 test. Looking at single core score, 3,481, and then we have the multi-core score of 12,679. I'll just quickly click on our temperatures again, and here we have the CPU at 44 degrees, motherboard 47, and graphics card at 43 degrees. It is fluctuating up and down 1 or 2 degrees here and there, but that's looking pretty good.
Stand by, I'm reloading. Okay to move! For targets. Hey, you got more heat signatures on the ridge ahead. Contact! Move off! Okay, give us your targets.
Okay, so now we're just going to take a look at the BIOS. I'm just going to restart the computer, and when I do, just going to quickly keep on hitting the F2 key. There you go, comes on the screen, you see F2 on the left hand side. Okay, so now we're in there. We'll just go through, so obviously set up or change your system date and time. Then we have the SATA ports here. At the top, port 0 is our optical. Down at 5 here is our Plextor Pro 256 gig, so if you click on that, it just comes through and tells us the capacity, etc. Yeah, so let's move through to advanced, chipset control and rapid start technology here. You can also enable, disable your boot logo, also power on beep, and also battery low alarm beep as well, enable and disable those. And petitioning as well. Security, set your supervisor password. Also your boot priorities are in here. Different options. Also set up your UEFI setting as well, or enable, disable that. Cool, and then around to exit. If by any chance you make a bit of a stuff up and don't know what you've done and you just want to get back to the system defaults or setup defaults, you can do that here as well. Go back to that. But yeah, it'll always ask you to save at the end anyway, so you can always say no just to, if you don't know what you've done. And save changes there. Okay, so now I've opened up the back of the laptop and having a look at all the goodies inside. Now there's just one slot here for a 2.5 or traditional 2.5 inch hard drive or SSD, and also we've got the eSATA bay just in here which is vacant. So at the moment obviously we've just got the one 256 gig Plextor SSD in here. And just one thing to note, I've said it before, just reiterate it again, this hard drive, it'll only take a hard drive that's 7mm thick. So with the 2.5 inch laptop hard drives, they come in two sizes, two thicknesses, 7mm or 9.5mm. So the older style 9.5mm ones will not fit in here. So you can actually just see if I run my finger from the edge here to there, it's actually flush. So yeah, that cover just would not go back on there if this was any thicker. So a lot of the SSDs these days are 7mm, so you'll be fine there. But if you have like a really beefy 1 terabyte 7200 RPM hard drive, that's a 9.5mm. So yeah, that would definitely not fit in here. So if you're buying the laptop without a hard drive or just an eSATA and want to put one in later, yeah, just be aware that you just got to make sure before you order it or buy one that's 7mm. So here we have the eSATA slot. It's empty at the moment. So the way to put one in, if you want to put one in yourself, is there's a screw just here. Just got to unscrew that, because that's actually going to hold the eSATA down. So when you slot it in, it slots in at this end. So it goes in at an angle, okay, and then you push the end down. And once you push the end down, you can actually then put the screw in. There'll be a little hole in the top corner of the eSATA little slot there, or eSATA SSD. And yeah, so then you just put the screw back on and screw it back in, and they'll actually hold the eSATA down. I've got two RAM slots here. Maximum, oh, there's only 2 in the whole laptop, so the maximum at this stage is 16 gig RAM. And as you can see, there's 2 DIMMs of RAM in there. So actually, this one's maxed out, so it's up to 16. Also, I mentioned earlier the speakers, one here and one here. So now the cover's off, so you can see one speaker in there. Just got the one fan and your heat sinks as well. So that concludes our review of the Metabox Alpha WA50SJ CTG01 model. This CTG configured to go model has the following upgrades from the base spec model, which is Windows 7 Home or Windows 8.1 Home, an extra 8 gig of RAM, so 16 gigabyte all up, and upgrade to the Blu-ray player with the DVD player burner on the side. Overall, this is a saving of around $100 when you add these specs onto the base model, so well worth looking at. On top of this, the CTG range comes with a 2-year warranty instead of a 1-year warranty on the base model. However, Metabox currently do have a promotion that includes a free 2-year warranty, but I'm not sure how long that will last, so there's an extra saving there. There are 2 things that I think could make the specs on this laptop even more appealing. Firstly, a backlit keyboard. This laptop is at the budget end of the Metabox range though, so it's understandable that it is missing. I don't think Clevo even offer it yet, and hopefully in the future they will. Personally, I'd be willing to pay an extra $50 or so for a feature like that. Secondly, would be the ability for Metabox to offer an upgrade to the 7260 AC dual band Wi-Fi. You can on the base model, and a lot more customers want the 5 GHz bandwidth with the AC routers these days, so that would be handy as an upgrade option. However, the base Wi-Fi card on this model also comes with Bluetooth, and I found no issue with the Wi-Fi, but it is a 2.4 GHz bandwidth Wi-Fi card in the model as standard. Overall, I'm really impressed with this laptop, and surprisingly so. I must say that I had my doubts on whether I would like this model, and I have to confess that I judged the book by its cover. I thought from the pictures that the surface was a rough texture and appeared a slightly pinkish, purpley mauve colour, but upon seeing the laptop in person, the surface was actually a really nice smooth aluminium surface that feels great to touch, and in fact I love it. There's a pattern on the surface which made me think from the pictures that there was a rough surface all over the laptop, but that pattern is actually smooth and is a film layer that is injected into the chassis mould, so completely smooth to touch all over. The colour is a light brown or metallic bronze colour, not too dark, and I've found that I've quickly warmed to the overall look and feel of this laptop. The Intel 4th Gen i7 quad-core CPU makes it really fast. The 256GB Plextor Pro SSD makes turning on, rendering, exporting, and program loading super fast as well. The 16GB of RAM is a really nice bonus, and the GTX 850 was more than capable in the frames per second department, and even if you had to lower the settings from ultra down to high on the most GPU intensive games, then the WA50SJ is not disappointing by any means. My favourite part of this laptop is the screen. I was really impressed with the wash, or lack thereof, on the viewing angles, especially forward and back tilting of the screen. The IPS screen is a real delight to look at. So would I buy one? I guess the fact that I don't want to send this test unit back to Metabox says that yes, I would buy it. The exterior has really won me over, and the extensive spec list for the price is very impressive. I'm probably biased as I do sell this laptop, but I do get to see a lot of laptops, and this WA50SJ is impressive. You can even save about $250 by opting for the base model and install your own Windows OS or Linux OS like Ubuntu. I can see high school students, uni students, gamers on a budget, photographers, graphic designers, or even home and business users wanting a really good all-round and very capable laptop at an extremely good price, wanting to add the WA50SJ to the shortlist when buying the next laptop. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to subscribe and ask a question below, or email us at support@comcomputers.com. Cheers.